Hi up there, and today we are talking about your zno task that is called the wet night. It's filled in the text. Here is the tent in the middle of the field, and here is your link that you can go and have your practice. Insert your email, and now we are here already. It doesn't want to use my email today, I don't know why. But still, here are my questions that I can see. Use this link. This is Ukrainian language, and you just go instantly to this wet night set of phrases that help you to do it easier. I have prepared it especially for you, and here you are. Read nowadays, but still Ukrainian maybe is not mostly frequently spoken language, but it's second most melodic language, maybe even. Okay, so let's assume that it's very melodic language. So let's see. Let's pronounce tent. You can see the picture, and let's assume that this is some kind of cover from cold and water, rain, etc. Campfire. A fire near the camp. Sleeping bag where you can sleep at night in the field. Comfortable. For example, a chair, and convenient is more about the time. Creeper, you can see some animals when they try to come closer in a silent way. Leap is the same as to jump. It's a kind of water, or it's a kind of division in your department. For example, you are going, your department in the future is going to be divided into two, as mine earlier, for example, and you will be connected in a particular area or field that you are learning. For example, there are several groups, they go in one stream. But actually it's a flow of water. It's a very healthy kind of sleeping. So when you get healthier, and we know that when we sleep, we get healthier. And it's very recommended to sleep at night and have enough sleep before your exam, to think more confidently, and to think more seriously, and to be more reasonable on the exam. I hope you can hear me very well, and let's move to the questions. Move on. So we see the text. Late in the afternoon, the boys. This phrase is taken from the text. In the middle of the field, as soon as they cooked meal over an open fire, they were hungry, and after a wonderful meal, they and sang songs in the campfire by the campfire. But sometime later, it began. What do you think? What it began? You must use one of these phrases, and you can see that some phrases are odd, so you shouldn't use all of them. Let's go through the questions. After just learning the vocabulary and simplifying the difficulties, let's learn what happened in the text. So look through the text and find out what happened one by one. So here are the phrases that you must put in the correct order to find out what happened first, second, and next. Late in the afternoon, the boys in the middle of the field. As soon as they cooked meal over an open fire, they were hungry, and after a wonderful meal, they and sang songs in the campfire. But sometime later, it began something connected with water. The boys felt tired, and they and crept into their tent. Their sleeping bags were warm, and what kind of sleeping bags were. So they all slept soundly. In the middle of the night, the two boys woke up and began. What did they begin to do? The tent was what they all, their sleeping bags, and hurried outside. It was, and they found that a stream had formed in the field, wound its way across the field, and then something connected with their tent. And we can see the phrases that you must use later on. And now let's put the event in the correct order. For example, the boys came. It happened first. Then what happened? They put the tent. What happened next was they cooked the food. Then there is number 4. They told the stories and had fun. It started to rain. And the boys felt tired. They put down the fire. They fell asleep. Number 9 is they woke up after they fell asleep. And the last one, number 10, almost the last but one, they began shouting because they saw some water. And the last one, they went outside and say what had and saw what had happened. So, as soon as you have done this exercise correctly, now you can use these phrases to put them immediately. So you learn the phrases. To rain, tell stories. Actually, the first part of the sentence must be something in the past and after "and." And here we are again. So we have successfully gone through the vocabulary. Now we know all the words. They are all familiar, and there are no unknown words here anymore. And we have successfully done the order of the event, so we know what happened first, second, next, and what happened in the end. And here we are again in our tent. So what happened? Late in the afternoon, the boys, and here we have the number of choices from A to O, and there are 2 odd ones. So there are only 13 gaps. But as usually there are less. So there are about 6 gaps. So I have exaggerated, but they are not very difficult. Pay attention to parts of speech. For example, late in the afternoon, the boys, you can't say to rain. You can say they told stories, for example. But it's something in the middle. You can't start the story a legend, or you can't start your narration with the most interesting part. So telling stories was later, but you can use a similar part of speech. For example, the boys put out the fire, but it was also later according to the meaning. First do it grammatically, so find all the appropriate parts of sentence speech that can go here, and pay attention that there is full stop, so it's not taken from the middle of the sentence but from the end. The boys, you can't use, for example, comfortable. You can't use the stream because this is the noun. The stream, this is the adjective. What kind of, you can't say shouting because it's the second part of the predicate. Full of is just the middle of the phrase. What happened? The boys put up their tent. And then they cooked the meal over an open fire. They were all hungry, and what happened next? The food smelled good, so it's about hunger, it's about their hungry stomachs, and it's about the bird. And this is about the young boys who were also very hungry. So it was very tempting. After a wonderful meal, they Again, we're playing games. So you can see that this phrase is very tempting as well, and we always want to use it either here or there, but it's not the best version. Told stories and sang songs, past simple, are homogeneous verbs. By the campfire. It's so fascinating to tell stories at night near the campfire. But sometime later it began to rain. Nothing, only one infinitive. We can't say it began shouting because it is impersonal, and it began to rain. It's a weather phenomenon. The boys felt tired, so they put, but there wasn't. Yes, put out the fire and crept into their tent. So put past simple, crept past simple. First we do it grammatically. Their sleeping bags were warm and comfortable. So they all slept soundly, healthy, sound sleep. In the middle of the night, the two boys woke up and began shouting. Something was wrong. The tent was full of water. So it's the middle of the sentence, is the middle of the phrase. Full of something, full of water. They all, what is left here? Leapt out of their sleeping bags. Nothing else comes here. And hurried outside. They couldn't have hurried outside without leaping out of their sleeping bags. So it's the only one phrase that goes here. It was, we can't say it was last summer. It's not the best option here. It was, this was is also not right. It was to rain, not nice. Would be used. Shouting. Raining heavily. So impersonal it was raining heavily. And they found a stream had formed in the field. So there was no stream, and now there was a stream. It appeared in the middle of the night. The subject is missing here. Is missed. So what subject can be used here? The stream is the subject. The stream. I didn't use the capital letter intentionally, just to mislead you a little bit, just to make sure you think and you use your active vocabulary and sense of the language. So the stream wound its way across the field. One simple sentence, and then under their tent. Where is the word flowed right onto their tent? So all the grammatical structures and grammatical forms are used correctly. Here we can compare. This is the right variant. So here you are. So I have just shown you how to deal with this kind of test. It is called fill in, and you will definitely have it on your exam. The more words you know before reading this kind of text, the better it is for you. Anyway, you have some time left, so you can learn the vocabulary. But what we start doing this test is, so here we start with vocabulary when we have some time. But on the exam you won't have a dictionary or your vocabulary, just only in your memory what you have learned by that time. So what you can do is just refresh it before the exam on the eve of the exam, at night, in the evening. Then the first part of the text is you do it. So you look through the words, through the options. You remember that there are two other options that you are not going to use. You mustn't use them. You look through the words and you try to use it grammatically. So the first one, you do it only formally, according to the form, what part of speech is going to be used. And when you did, for example, there can be several letters that best fit in the gap. And only when you read this text for the second time, you cross the other options and you just leave only the best ones, the best choices, so only one letter is left, remains. So it is called semantically according to the meaning. Then when you did it, just read the text once again for the third time and find out whether it makes sense, whether it logically and semantically correct, whether it is correct, and so if it has any meaning. And pay attention that if in the middle of the sentence there is a conjunction and, the verbs must be in the same grammar tense. It's very important. Or if it is not a verb, it must be the same part of speech. For example, adjective, adjective, or noun, noun. Then remember about the correct word order, subject, verb, object. For example, I like apples, but you can't say apples like me, so it's not just very right, very okay. So we don't know about the attitude of apples to us. So who does the action, then what he or she does, and then at who this action is directed, intended. Wish good luck. I hope this exercise helped you. You can practice more. This is kind of automatic drill, and where you can use automatically and check yourself, so you can have more exercises like that. And you can also write me at my electronic email address, zno.LVR.Englishcourse@gmail.com. Victoria Romanina, best wishes, good luck, goodbye, see you soon.